Hello everyone, Nordic Beast here, and welcome to the Foundation. So if you guys missed my last episode of Welcome to the Shipyard, I had explained what this is, but I'll go ahead and reiterate. Basic idea of this series is to toy with the mechanics of space engineers, whether for practical reasons or even impractical. Any mad scientist idea, someone comes up with, this is where I'd want to test it. So my best example I can give is this right here. Turn my light on. So a while back I came up with the idea of, I wonder if I could make a propeller in space. It works. It doesn't work very well, but damn it, it works. And this right here is the had a little stutter there. This right here is the essence of what the Foundation is. Coming up with crazy ideas, see if they work. So, alright, I'm gonna go ahead and start here and work my way down. So first off, this is my dual mission pack for my Valkyrie. I believe I talked about this briefly. The individual ones that you see scattered over there, they basically are mission packs that you just attach and you just use the hydrogen rockets. They run off of ice. Each one has 3 of the oxygen generators filled with the realistic amount of ice for the realistic settings in the game. So 2,700 ice per generator. They last individually about a minute and 10 seconds, and then once they burn out, you jettison them. Well, the single ones, I have it set up so you literally shut off your thrusters, you run off just to that until you run out of fuel. Then you jettison it, turn on your batteries, turn on your thrusters, and off you go. With this one, with the cradle in the middle, the large thrusters are actually off, and they're set for full power. Now, I think you could set them at half power. The idea is to launch this from a planet. So say you got a Valkyrie on a planet, you go ahead and launch, do a nice long burn, and then this will jettison off. Then you can switch to your batteries and your fuel, and your thrusters, and fly the rest of the way to orbit. So, for this design, that's actually pretty good considering it's battery powered. So you have less to worry about once you get into orbit. And next up is the Cobra, which I talked about last episode. I'll go ahead and show off how this flies here shortly, which I did not show in survival. So I'll go ahead and show that off in survival. Again, if you guys missed my shipyard episode with this runs off of 5 oxygen generators. It also has a single oxygen tank, but it doesn't really need it. I didn't really think about that until after I built it. It's like, this thing's so short-ranged, it will never need it. In fact, it probably won't even run out of the oxygen in the cockpit. So it has maybe 2 minutes worth of burn time. And then the 4 rocket launchers. So you're either going to run out of fuel or ammo first, and then have to return back before ever having to worry about that oxygen. And same thing, it has the 2,700 ice in each one, so it's pretty heavy. It starts off fully loaded at 28,000 kilograms and then drops down to 14,000 kilograms once it burns through all that ice. So it's very lightweight afterwards. This is an impractical design. Like, other than being an interceptor, it has no other purpose, but this has nothing that you couldn't do with generators and ion thrusters. So, yeah. Now this here is a hybrid design that uses that. You know what? Does this? Yeah, this one has ice, I believe. The oxygen. That's been a weird glitch lately. What? How about I just hop in the cockpit? Yeah, this one's with. Okay, so it's got 5 oxygen generators. Inventory, yep. So this one's full of ice. And the idea, yeah, okay, alright. It's been a while since I've flown this one. I made this last week before the more recent update. This thruster is off and it burns at full power, or again, you can set it to whatever setting you want, and you launch on that, just like you would with the cradle over here on the Valkyrie. This one, it's all built in, so you still keep the weight. It's actually, it doesn't, the generators and the thruster doesn't add all that much weight. I believe this is around 25,000 kilograms without the ice. So with the ice, it's around 40. So it is pretty hefty then, but once you burn through all that ice going up through the atmosphere, then you can switch over to, you know, your battery or, you know, whatever, just whatever you want to run your ion thrusters off of. So, that being said, I thought I would try a hybrid design that uses a hydrogen tank. So this one literally has no other purpose. It has, like, because this one could easily be retrofitted as a fighter. This one, I mean, I guess you could. I don't see why not. But I designed it just simply as a test platform for the thrusters. That's it. So, alright, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to survival and show these off real quick, and then I'm going to show off the kind of things that I would like to see for this series and what I want to work on next. So, alright, I'll see you guys in a minute. Alright guys, and we are back. So the first thing I really want to mess with is this. I haven't really gotten toy with the hydrogen since the update on Thursday. So I'm going to go ahead and play with this thing. I haven't really flown this ship yet, so I'm kind of curious. Come on, slow down, slow down. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and shut the large thrusters off here. Let's go ahead and check the tank. Oh, it's up here. So look, even that one burst. Turn that on. So this actually has the hydrogen thrusters underneath for landing. You see them between that piping there. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. This definitely accelerates extraordinarily well. Yeah, don't mind those ships sitting outside the Foundation. Those will probably be in my next shipyard episode. So, again, this isn't too terrible. I believe they said they quadrupled how much fuel these hold. Which originally was like 20 seconds. So that puts it at about a minute burn time. And that's at full power, which, again, is not too bad. And the weight on this thing is also not too bad. 22,000 kilograms. That's with nothing else on here, and it has a large reactor, so... Are we going to burn to the last of that fuel, or what? I've pretty much just been holding this down. Alright, the tank looks about empty, so it should burn out soon. Jeez, what are you running on? Oh, there we go. I was gonna say, man. Damn. Over here. So I think the concept is reasonably sound. I mean, one thruster, let's say, that lasted maybe a minute, maybe a little over a minute. And that was on full power, me just holding it down. For a planetary launch, I would say you'd want to set this again to about half power. So you get, you know, half the thrust, but for twice as long. So as long as you're hitting... as long as you're accelerating or hitting 104 meters a second as you accelerate from the planet, you're fine. So considering the size and weight of this ship, I think you could get a 2-minute burn. And I would say to get to orbit, from what I've seen in videos, depending on how far up you're going, you know, it takes less than 10 minutes total, but to take away, you know, 2 minutes of burn time that you don't have to eat up uranium, and also this, because of the power behind this, allows you to carry a much heavier payload. So I think hydrogen thrusters are viable, but I think they could still be better. Like, I'm not 100% sold on them yet. And honestly, I still feel like the ice version is better. Actually, with that being said, before I get to that one, I'm going to go ahead and test this. I made a video once testing this. Hold on a sec. And it was hilarious because I forgot I was in creative, and so I recorded it, and I had the rockets going, and then all of a sudden the timer released all the merge blocks, and they went whizzing off and absolutely devastated the foundry. Or I'm sorry, the Foundation, excuse me. Where's... release? Control. Start. There we go. And then... Blip. now? You're gonna do your thing? Did I not set this up correct? Oh, there it goes. Okay. That's the longest 5 seconds ever. And then you would take your Valkyrie and fly away. Alright. I'm gonna... Oh, wait, I can't. I was gonna say I'm gonna delete these, but I can't. I'm in survival. So next up... Oh, actually... Let's go ahead and fly this guy first. This guy's actually got pretty decent performance. 5? That's what I'm looking for. Shut off dampeners. There we go. Now you see, this isn't the best acceleration. Again, we're at 40,000 kilograms. But this is enough that you would be able to get yourself into orbit thrusting on just this. And this way you have nothing to jettison. You don't lose anything. All you have to worry about is ice. And this would make an excellent quick response craft. You launch this using just the main hydrogen thruster, and then you switch over to your ion thrusters. Also, if any of you guys are wondering, I am using a mod that turns off idle ion thrusters. So that's why they look off, even though they're not. There we go. Let's slow down and point myself back. There we go. Alright, how am I looking? Inventory. 1 point, yeah, see, it takes a while to burn through all this. So I think total this one, I think this one's also about 1:10 on full power. So you could, oh no, 5? Scratch that, so this one's actually closer to 2 minutes, and then this one you could also reduce down to 50% thrust, and that's getting you closer to 4 minutes worth of burn, which is actually very, very viable for launching from a planet. And like I said, once you burn all that ice off, you don't have to worry about all that extra weight. Oh, no, don't be stupid. There we go. It just stops. Oh, there it goes. It burned out. So, I mean, that's still a pretty reasonable amount of time. Alright, so as you see, it says mass 40,000 kilograms. That says 26. So, that's not too bad. Alright, so next up, this is purely hydrogen powered. This guy can, as far as the hydrogen goes, seems to really last a long time. I do like this ship, and like I said, I feel like it's well, the concept would work. And that's it. I'm out of ammo. The concept for this would work, but again, there's nothing that this thing can do that just not vanilla, but just a regular ion-powered ship could do as well. Just would be far more reusable and flexible. I mean, right now this ship has no other purpose. Pardon me, sorry. This ship has no other purpose than to, you know, quickly go and attack its target and come back. I mean, it could not escort, it couldn't be a dedicated fighter. Like I said, I didn't even put machine guns on it simply because it can't last long enough fuel-wise. I mean, yeah, you can thrust out and then maneuver, hit your target and then come back, and you'll be lucky. Alright, so, I mean, I was out there maybe a minute. I mean, oh yeah, look at that, that's, you know, 4/5 of the fuel that's already been burned. So, I tell you what, in fact, what I'll do, come back and land. And I'll burn out the rest of my fuel. There we go. Wow, that was pushing it close. Okay, so next up, what I want to talk about is some very interesting things I found. There was another contraption I was going to put here, but it doesn't quite work anymore. And it was a gravity drive somebody designed that uses the suspension for the wheels to turn, and it activates sensors that actually allows you to maneuver it. So when you turn the generator on, you can actually fly a gravity generator. It was an ingenious idea, but it's wonky now. And actually this one is too, but I will still show you. This, yeah, I was gonna say I'm okay. Oh, did I not? shoot. I'm stupid. I will have to switch over. You know what, I'm just going to actually leave it put. Alright, this is... this is a gyro that... it has no actual gyroscope to it. It itself is a gyro between using rotors and suspension. And it actually works. I mean, it doesn't work overly well, but it does actually work. And I don't want to have to switch back to survival to show it off. But I like the idea. In fact, I told the mod author, I'll go ahead and put his name down below, I told him that he should try making like a realistic spaceship using this just for a challenge. And this, as you see, just has the rear thrusters. That's it. So I think it is quite interesting. But to use this system, and not only that, you could use it as like an attachment system to a ship. For, again, like a hardcore challenge. Say you're not allowed to use gyros at all because you have to build your physical gyro. I think that's interesting. I'm not overly fond of super hardcore in this game, but I definitely see the appeal, and I would see people being interested in doing that. So, the other one is this little guy right here. You can actually find this on the workshop. I'll go ahead and leave the blueprint and the author's name down below. This is a large ship rotor piece right here. As you see, it's actually a large piece. It's just the rotor top, and then it has two. Let's see here. It has two landing gear attached to it, small ship landing gear, and then it's built up with small blocks. So this here is about as perfect as you can get for a conversion from large to small ship. The cool thing about that is you can now build small ships with gravity drives, or with gravity in general. You could build small ships with large weapons. So if you wanted, you could put a large rocket pod, say, on the ship with, say, one large generator, and then like a connector conveyor system to it, and then the rest could be a small ship built around it, which I thought was pretty damn cool. I thought about that for like the A10 design, but it was just a little too overly complicated for me. Again, I tend to like to keep things simple, so as far as things I like to build for the game that I would like to see like as part of the game, like what you see my Valkyrie as, or all my other ships that are on the actual workshop, I want to keep it simple. This is not simple. I mean, this is very cool, very interesting, and even usable, but it is not simple. So, well, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you guys like this series, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you would like to see in it. If you guys have any ideas for me to cover, please feel free. I also plan on having some of the other NID-tubers, or just NIDites in general, just, you know, people part of the NID that I talk to and see all the time. They have some ideas. I told them they can come on here anytime they want. I was talking to both DHR Mike and Lord Wiseman about it. Come up with some crazy ideas, or you want to help me test it, that's what they're here for. So, but yeah, if you guys have some ideas, let me know, because I would like to do more on this series. I don't always have ideas for this, but I do always test the features for the updates. So I will definitely still be doing that, like the hydrogen stuff, but like the wacky stuff, I don't always come up with, so that's few and far between. But I'd like to do more on that, so again, you guys have some ideas, let me know. Anyway, if you guys like the episode, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next time.